Women are assessed around our beauty, our aesthetic, physical beauty, and there's biological reasons for that, and our fertility and our youth.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from O'Shea Duke Jackson. Ebony K. Williams, always pushed back on The Godfather for his advice, but now she's realizing winter has came and she is frozen. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Of the celebrity jump. Ebony K. Williams has been a person on social media, I would say for the last 2 or 3 years, really delving in some of the opportunities that black women have with black men, which she doesn't have a great favor for. And a few weeks ago, she was on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. She kind of goes back and forth on her opinions. One point, she's telling black women to go get, artificial insemination. Then on the next minute, she's telling black women to marry while they're in college. She just doesn't know what she's talking about, in my honest opinion, and that's fine. But she is going to drop some gems about why it is so difficult for a lot of professional black women to get married. I want you guys to listen to this.
I don't think this affects only black women. It affects all women. A lot of women are in this boat, in this category, that are professional nurses, doctors, lawyers, that are all in their 30s, 35s, that are looking to settle down, but they want someone better. Most women are still hypergamous by the end of the day. So it's just hard for them to find what they want.
This clip, and then I'm going to come back.
Because this is going to be controversial, but this is, I think, important. So the problem with this is that, all right, so a 35-year-old single woman who's making $400,000 a year, right? And that they're looking for their equal counterpart. And that makes sense, right? But it's like the difficult part about that is that the equally yoked man who's 35 that's making $500,000, he's probably already in a relationship. He's probably married.
Correct.
The ones that's not married, they're not necessarily looking for somebody that's 35. They're looking for the 28-year-old. So now it's like, okay, you're either forced with it.
It's funny how she agrees now. Like before, we watched a lot of her other interviews, she would push back on these narratives of men wanting younger women very, very harshly. But now, as she's gotten older in the past 3 years of just learning and getting pushback, she's realizing it's true.
Decision to just remain single or look down. Now there is the truck drive. Now there's the UPS man who's a great man, but who's making $80,000 a year, right? Because now it's equal. It's hard to find that equal counterpart. Men, you could be 50 years old, and it's not. The age doesn't really matter.
No, and I've said this, and this is controversial, right? That because of the way society values gender roles, right? So the way in which we find a woman attractive, what are we really talking about under that? And it doesn't hurt my feelings. Let's just.
Isn't that we? It's men. I don't know where this we is coming from, Ebony.
Say it. People across the spectrum culturally, but we're talking about black people, so let's center that. Black women are assessed around our beauty, our aesthetic, physical beauty, and there's biological reasons for that, and our fertility and our youth.
See, you didn't even need to put black women in that. That's all women. Fertility, beauty, and youth. That's not just pertaining to only black women. That's all women of all all shapes and sizes and races.
Those are the main things that a man is going to be assessing when
Correct.
Deciding if you are for him. And then it's going to be the quote soft skills. It's going to be, do you make him feel loved, catered to, loyal? Are you relatively non-confrontational? Not too much pushback or challenges around ideas and decisions. And those are the things.
Dang, when Godfather KS said, winter was coming. Whew, she feels it. She's speaking about it right now.
That would really make you just highly desirable in the dating market as a woman. Now let's go to men. What makes a man highly desirable in a dating market? It is going to be financials. It's going to be your ability to provide financially and fiscally. It's also going to be your physicals, kind of your stature. Like there's a reason why, this 666 thing, I think that's really corny, but whatever. But there's a reason why a lot of women will swipe.
She thinks it's corny, but she's referring to it anyways.
Right on men that are at least 5'10", 6 feet. They want to feel there's some physical dominance coming from a man. Then you've got, you know, just kind of age. There's a reason why older men, like you just said, bro, like 50 plus, that's not a deterrent for most women, because that presumes more stability. That presumes you've lived life longer and you can probably protect and know and help and navigate these spaces better and more effectively than I can in my youth. So you're right. Kind of the way in which we assess and evaluate value as men versus women create an inherent conflict. I will add one little caveat though to the scenario you laid out, where you've got these 35 and up women who've got these, you know, big incomes and degrees and all this stuff, but we're not necessarily as desirable to the men that are our age and financial equal, which is why personally, I enjoy dating older men, because at 40, if I'm dating a man who's 56, there's more likelihood that he will appreciate some aspect of youth around me. Now, that same 56-year.
This is what we talk about in the space. Yeah, you'll probably find someone, but it's probably going to be an older gentleman that sees the value of your youth while he's in his later ages. Someone in their prime don't see you that you're in your prime anymore, so they're going to go for the younger person. This makes sense. This is what men have been saying this whole time.
Year-old get a 28-year-old, it's possible. But I'm living this. I'm not just talking and writing about it, guys. I'm out here living this, and I have been for the last 4-ish years since I ended my engagement. I do find that can be a sweet spot for some women that are in that like 38 to 45-year-old range. You know.
So I think that many of us, after listening to that, could really agree on what Ebony K. Williams is talking about. She's leaving out something, all right? And I want to give a shout out to Psych Hack's YouTube channel. He does a very good job.
Love Psych Hacks. I cover him here on this channel every so often too,
of breaking these things down. But he said the other day that I was watching the videos, Mr. Psych Hacks, the guy says, listen, men have worked so hard all of their life to get to where they're at. Now, when they have the ability to have options, why would they give it up? Okay. Shout out to Orion Teraban. Check out his channel, guys. It's very good. Why would he give that up? And as I'm thinking about this, the guy's right. First of all, if you're
it's very hard. As my income grows, as my options grow, it's very hard for me to look at some of these women as options anymore, because I have more options now. It makes sense. It's hard for a man not to want to use his options when it took him so long to build it up. Like, I didn't have options when I was younger. I didn't, you know, I wasn't as built out as I am now, physically or financially. So why would I want to settle for something that I can do better?
A black woman that makes $400,000 a year. I make $450,000 a year. That doesn't mean that you are better in my life than I am without you in my life with all of my options. Okay?
Correct.
This is what Ebony K. Williams and other ladies don't understand. What man's life will change because you are there? That's something that we can ask as men without the pressure of society saying you need to be a father or a husband. We know that their lives have a better chance of changing because most women are coming into a man's world. If a woman makes $400,000 a year and you make $500,000 a year, yeah, she will pay something, but you're expected to still provide for her. She's going to be keeping the majority of her money. And then if you divorce, you're the one that has the most to lose. So now, what would I gain if I'm an older man? I'm 40, you're 40, you have all that money. When you marry me, hey, I already probably don't even need you in my life. I got my own money, I have my own investments, I have my own home. If it's about a cook, I can do that, or I can hire somebody to do that. If it's about sex, I can definitely get that covered, right? If it's about my free time, I definitely got that. I don't need to take you on vacation with me as you're nagging and stuff like that. I don't need it. So then why?
Dude, I go to dinners, go to eat by myself all the time, like almost every other day. That's how much I don't care about having to have someone with me or not. I enjoy myself, enjoy my own time. So it's not like a woman coming with me for dinner. It's going to make my dinner better majority of the time. Yeah, maybe a little bit more of a conversation, but I enjoy my solo time.
Why should I change my life for you? I can only do so and make the sacrifice if you're going to bring value. Here's something that ladies should consider. Men like sports, football, right? And then I'm gonna give you a concept that we talk about in football or most professional sports in America. The topic of free agency. Now there is a salary cap in free agency. It's not unlimited. And a salary cap means that you just can't spend, past this amount of money. So the resources are limited, right? In sports. Think baseball, I don't know if they have a salary cap. They used to not have a salary cap. But in NFL, there's a salary cap. So what that means is I only have a certain amount of money to spend. And if I'm gonna sacrifice for a player and pay a player a whole lot of money, that player needs to be very productive. Like with the Jets, they went out and got Aaron Rodgers. Here's what happens. A lot of ladies are in the free agency, and I largely believe that they want to get the highest bid to be on a team, and they want to start. You want to start, but you're not playing well or you're not winning games. If I'm going to give up the flexibility of my life by myself, if I'm going to give up, my own personal space, I'm spending my time with you now instead of by myself, I have to adjust my life to you. God damn it, you need to come into my life and you need to make it better than what it already is. Here's the issue. Most women don't feel like they need to make it better than it already is. They're just, you should be glad that they are there. Yep. They don't even care about your life to even understand it. So now when you bring them into your life, what are they doing there? Oh, you have less time for yourself. You can't sleep with anybody else. You can't talk to anybody else, And when you're with the same lady all the time, you're going to have more conflict. Well, what is that? Women got to understand what they're looking for here. You're talking about a top 5% man or 10% man that you feel like you need, and you don't really have anything that the guy wants that could make his life better. So of course, that's gonna result in you not getting the guy because you never thought about it. Yeah, there are some things that you can do to make his life better. It's up to you to figure it out. No, not this guy should be like, oh, well, you have 500,000, it's 500,000, let's go ahead and marry it. The guys don't think like that. Guys can think like, I have $500,000 a year. I don't need you. I can live in a smaller apartment. I don't need a big house. I'm okay. I can go to Thailand when I want, first class, whenever I want to do it. I can be relatively single, and I can always have different women at my disposal because I can. Why am I marrying you? No lady that I have met so far can answer those questions. That's why Ebony K. Williams and women like her are single. You can't beat the man's individual lifestyle now because he's not gonna get very much from dealing with you. Now, we would know what you would get if you get a man. He gonna come in, pay bills, come in and upgrade your life. But are you upgrading his life anyway? Ain't gonna be financially. That's the issue here. Most women that want these rich guys have not discovered that. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shadiq Jackson. Back at it again with another episode.
Rest in peace, Godfather. He knew so much and was able to predict the future. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I catch you guys.